I'm Sarah Russell,
I'm JQ Walker.
And we are
the Neurodivergent Report, a research-based podcast by and for neurodivergent brains.
In each episode, we'll explore topics relating to neurodiversity and coping strategies by reviewing the literature and discussing current topics.
We will also have interview episodes where we sit down with experts in the field and listeners like you, with the hope that together we can all learn to heal in community.
However you are able to engage, thank you for being here.
Oh,
I just came back from a movie called Caught Stealing, and the cat is the main character in the movie, honestly.
oh yeah.
So cute. I liked the movie. It was nice. But yeah, cats. It got me thinking maybe I should get one.
Oh,
Highly recommend.
Thank you.
let's
I would highly recommend.
Let's sit on that for a couple
I
weeks
know, yeah. For
to
a couple
avoid
of
the
weeks.
impulse bunnies.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, I completely agree. Spoken like
That's-
a true ADHD coach, by the way.
Yeah, nice strategy.
So true.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, I
Well,
guess let's do the usual.
Let's do it.
Hi everyone. Wow. Welcome to the Neurodivergent Report. We got the whole gang here today, plus special guests. So we
On
got
deck.
me, Jay, we got Hind over there in the red, and we got, of course, Sarah down there.
Also in
Well,
red, like
Yes.
checkerboard.
Yes. And me and our guest are rocking some black t-shirts. So why don't you take it away, guest? Introduce yourself, tell everyone who you are, what you do, why you're here.
All right. My name is Ryann Sutera. I'm a neurodiversity affirming speech therapist and owner of Support the Spectrum. I perform direct speech therapy services, of course, but I also hold consultations and presentations to inform people about neurodiversity affirming care. And I also make free accessible content. Please check out my YouTube channel if you're in need of that education. And I'm here because I was invited by you lovely people. Thank you so much for having me.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
Thank you for being
I
here.
love having niche specialties that get to talk to us about what they do, and we all get to learn so much. So I'm excited.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm very excited because I feel like this group, we're all on the same wavelength, I feel.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Already
Uh,
feel it's gonna be a good episode.
Yes. You kind of feel it from the beginning.
So Ryan, you mentioned that you sort of do two things. You have your YouTube channel, and then you also have like your day job, I guess, doing speech language pathology. How did you get into that? Because as Hint said, that is a super niche specialty. Most people don't even know what it is.
Sure. Yes. I feel like I'm part of a rare group of people who knew at the right age what they wanted to do. And that just came from shadowing different healthcare professionals. I always knew I wanted to be in healthcare, in medicine in some way. And when I shadowed the speech therapist, something just clicked. And originally I thought I would go into the population, the older population, post-stroke, aphasia, dysphagia. And I do actually still see those clients. But when I was in grad school, I had a placement at the Western Pennsylvania School for Blind Children. And that population, disabled and neurodivergent, and something just clicked for me. And I was so excited to go to work every day. It didn't feel like a drag. And that's kind of, I think, your body telling you, hey, you could really do this forever. So that is, luckily, was my path.
That's amazing.
I think it's a good sign when that happens. I remember my aunt telling me this when I was in the psychiatry rotation. She said, you came every day with a smile on your face. So I think that's the right thing for you. So you just reminded me of my own story. And it's really lucky when you get to know it in your 20s/30s.
I know, thank goodness, because we make kids choose what they want to study in
So
college.
early.
18, yeah, it's crazy. So I felt very lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also cool because I think in our generations, yeah, that's crazy to expect an 18-year-old to be like, I know what I'm doing for the rest of my life. So yes. Another thing is something that you're also exemplifying with doing like your work and then also the YouTube stuff, like doing more than one thing and not having to pick
Yeah.
one career and siloing yourself into one thing. I think that's becoming a lot more normal. Um,
Mhm.
and
I think that's
so
out of necessity,
I was about to say,
less
I was about to
so
say,
than, like,
I was about to
desire.
say, in some ways,
Well,
I think just because of the way the job market is, but if the unintended result of that mess is that it is a little bit more normal, that's a silver lining, I
Mhm.
guess.
We're
yeah.
becoming
Yeah.
Renaissance
Absolutely.
people all over again.
Yeah.
Yes, I think also though, and we spoke about this when we chatted for our check-in,
Yeah.
was that all of us have seen issues in the systems that have already been set up. So for
Mhm.
me, that was, I graduated and I started working at a school for 3 years, and I loved working at the school, but
Mhm.
there were so many problems. There were so many problems that weren't being heard no matter how much I advocated, no matter how much I showed the research. And that really pushed me into, okay, I have to do my own thing because I know I can do it better, for lack of a better words, but I know
Yeah.
it's hard. But
Mhm.
No,
still,
definitely.
you
What
see
kind of
people.
things did you see when you were working in schools? Am I public or private, or it didn't matter?
I was working in a tier one public school in Delaware, which is the type of school where there is a great difference in the socioeconomic status of the people who attend. And so resources were definitely low. Professionals were not getting paid enough, and there wasn't enough space. But tell me why the neurotypical population got private speech therapy rooms and the neurodivergent population were put into storage closets for their assessments, for their yearly assessments that determines their IEPs and determines what they are going to work on for the
Wow.
next year.
Not a great look, I
Mm.
will say.
I gotta look. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
I really, for I think 2 of the years I was there, was pushing, 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 and I finally did get a private therapy room, and then I got it taken away, and I was
On
like,
what
"I'm
grounds?
out." Oh my gosh, this is the tea.
Spill the tea if
So
you're comfortable. If you're
no,
comfortable.
I am. I've actually thought about, like, am I ever gonna spill the tea? This is a good, and
Yeah.
I'm not naming any names, but
Breaking
Yeah.
news.
breaking news, schools don't give accessible
Whoa.
environments for their yeah, right. So, yeah, not naming any names, but, I will name the other speech therapist I work with, Leanne Hurley, who's amazing. We were the only autism support speech therapists in the building, and we were meeting with the principal to advocate for a space where there wasn't a ton of visual and auditory distraction. I mean, literally, the closet was underneath the gym, so all you could hear was kids running back and forth
Oh.
and
Oh,
whistles, and it was
Mhm.
really, really, yeah. So, anyways, we advocated for it. We showed the research, we showed our data,
Mhm.
and then we got the room. And then admin from the principal of autism services came in and said, "You cannot have it because then we have to give it to every school in the
Mhm.
district."
Figure it
And
out.
Also,
I
it's like, should we
couldn't
should
believe
we
it.
not accommodate the
Is that a
kids
bad
across
thing?
the
God.
I'm sorry.
district?
It seems
I'm
like,
sorry,
Yeah.
wait.
wow,
That's
really? You should
crazy.
provide
Couldn't
basic care
believe
for
it.
everyone.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No,
But that
that
is the
was the
bottom
day.
line for,
Yeah.
like, every school district, and that's why it can be challenging, and sometimes they don't wanna give us the stuff. We were just talking, I think yesterday, to, someone about, like,
That's why I was like,
IEPs and 504s and accommodations. She's like a school advocate,
Mhm.
and
for
her story
parents who
was
need to.
the same reason. And that's why I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
so
it's
Yeah.
mad
always.
because it's the same thing. Go
How
for
did
it, Sarah.
No, I'm just curious, like, how did you know that your students were so dysregulated in those rooms? Like, did you also struggle to be regulated in that space?
Yeah, I
Do you see
definitely struggled to
yourself
feel
in your
regulated.
people? Yeah.
Yes, it was so I mean, it really was a storage closet. So there's all toys in there, there's all those books in there, everything, and in general, a lot of the standardized assessments that the school districts, the states make you give to non-speaking and or neurodivergent learners, they're they're not good. So it's, you're sitting there saying, "What's this? What's this? What's this?" And of course, they'd rather play with the game of Sorry or whatever else they could see in the room, and they're hearing the stomps of kids above them in the gym, probably thinking, "Oh, wish I was there running." So
Yeah.
it was a lot of, a lack of visual attention, of course,
Mm.
a lack of expressive language, and so all those scores were essentially meaningless.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even without all the visual distractions, a lot of standardized assessments are not it.
We had someone recently talk a little bit about PDA, but we have not had anybody talk about Gestalt language processing, and I would
Oh,
love to, like, dive, like, especially into that. That'd be cool.
okay, yes, let's talk about Gestalt language processing, where 85% of autistic people are Gestalt language processors, and it is an entirely different way of acquiring language than most of the population that are
Wow.
analytic language processors. So, also, you don't have to be autistic to be a Gestalt language processor, but our autistic friends tend to need intervention, whereas our neurotypical people kind of, figure it out, play with language, get to independent conversational speech independently. So it is the process of acquiring language in whole chunks, emotion based, oftentimes melodic, intonation rich, long chunks, but they could be short, and it's has deeper meaning to them. A gestalt has deeper meaning to them, but might not be apparent to the people around them. So a few examples are a child's running, 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 falls down, and they say, "Are you okay?" In their mind, "I'm hurt" means, "Are you okay?" Because they heard that every single time they have
Oh,
fallen and feeling hurt. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yes.
So the gestalt, the bigger category of feeling, emotion based feeling hurt, I express that by saying, "Are you okay?"
Aw.
my
uh,
son,
yeah,
my son, every time he falls and gets a boo-boo, he comes over to me and gives me a kiss. Because I
That's so
used to
because that's
always
what
sweet.
run
you
over
do.
to him and give
Yeah,
him a kiss. Yes, I do. I do. That's what I do.
Oh my goodness.
that's a
That's
perfect
so sweet.
example of a gestalt learner. Yeah, that is
Yes.
sweet.
Yeah.
He's so
So
funny
I'm
with
kind
the
of
mimicking, though. His language is interesting.
yeah.
Anyway,
I was gonna ask, because, like, I'm wondering how this relates to the idea of, like, hyperlexia. Like, d and I don't know if you like, I'm wondering if you have an idea about how about or if is it, like, a different kind of language acquisition style or, like
So hyperlexia is observed in Gestalt language processors and
Yeah.
analytic processors,
Okay.
but a lot of Gestalt language processors love the order and the pattern of numbers and letters.
Hmm.
So, the alphabet in general is this 26 the English alphabet, this 26 letter, perfectly ordered, makes sense every time, is almost the same in all the different songs. And putting together that pattern and that chunk, which could be a gestalt for them, is satisfying to the gestalt brain. So that's why they really like it.
I was
Hmm.
told by my son's evaluators that not like obsession, but like hyperfixation on alphabet and numbers from a really early age is an autistic like
Hmm.
hyperfixation. Just like there's like train autistics and like rocks.
There's the alphabet autistics out
um
there. We see you.
yeah, and I
Yeah, we
if
see you.
that's you, you probably really love logic, you might really love math, you might even really understand music on like a formulaic level. Um,
Huh.
anyway,
Yeah.
brilliant brains. We
Um,
all have brilliant brains. They just do different stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure 2 out of 3 people who are listening understood exactly what you were talking about. But then there's this one person
Oh, is that
for
you?
that for that 1 out of the 3 listeners who needed extra explanation.
Should give
This is
more
for
Yes,
examples.
this is for the
that's
listeners who
so
didn't
For
get it.
important.
for for that 1 out of
Yeah.
3 who we don't know who
One
that
out
is, but,
of,
It
we
like,
could
don't
be
know who that
anyone.
is.
it could be really
It
anyone,
could be
guys.
anyone.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I'll give you another example because so another characteristic trait of GLPs are that they're very musical. They love music and intonation rich phrases, words, things from media. So I had this one learner once who every single time they wanted to go home, they wanted to see their mom, they miss their mom, they would sing the Spanish song. They were growing up in a Spanish speaking home, right? So they didn't have the conversational language skills, that semantic understanding of I miss mommy. But
Yeah.
the song was a
Mm.
gestalt that means I miss mommy. So it has deeper meaning to them. That's how they were communicating that sentiment. And
Mhm.
our
I
job
got it.
as speech language pathologists who support GLPs is to take that gestalt, honor it, affirm it, replicate it back if they want you to, because sometimes GLPs do not want you to attempt to sing their gestalts because they're like, you're doing it wrong. Like, please stop.
Yeah.
Um, then you, yeah, first affirm, then you model without expectations that they use it, model that language that you think they're trying to communicate.
Mm.
And it can be hard, to do the detective work to find out what they
Okay, so
mean.
now I get
Yeah.
it. So when the person is hurt, they will come to you and say, "Are you okay?" Because that's what
Yes.
they think being hurt means. Okay, I got it now.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Wait,
Okay,
can I give one more
okay.
example? Because this one's
Yeah.
way
Please
better now that I
do.
thought of
Yes,
it.
Please
and then
do.
Okay.
I have a follow-up question that I'd like to ask after, but yeah.
Okay, yes. So you're at a birthday party, right? And you're a Gestalt language processor, and you see the cake, and you say, Happy birthday to you. The cake is happy birthday to you, or you might start singing the song because
Mm.
that's the whole of the Gestalt. That's the whole of the experience and the emotional
Absolutely. Yeah.
feeling of being at a party. So,
Mm.
sorry, just another example.
Do not
Yeah. So every time
apologize.
there's a
Yeah,
Oh my
cake, say, yeah,
great.
goodness.
perfect. That's amazing. Please
Yeah.
don't. You're an amazing explainer. I
Yeah.
got it. I got it.
Even
That's perfect.
even the song
Okay.
example, that was also great.
Yeah.
My question, so you mentioned before, um, analytic. You said something like like another acquisition style. Like, do you mind just explaining that too?
Sure, yes. Most of the population are analytic language processors. We gather one word at a time, and the semantic meaning of those words is extremely valuable to us. So you might see a young learner and they're playing with a ball, and you model to them ball, and they get it. They say ball. And then you
Yeah.
say, yeah, it's a blue ball. And now they
Mm.
know blue and ball. And, with time, they will generalize it to other things. Oh, that's a blue cup. It's a blue
Mm.
towel. And that's a soccer ball and a basketball. And the individual semantic meaning of those words is stored and sorted and put in very specific parts of our brains. And oppositely, for Gestalt language processors, we start with these huge chunks, potentially huge chunks, but the language that sticks for them is melodic, intonation rich, emotion based versus more logical and semantic based.
This reminds me of something I think you, Sarah, said about the way why do we have sensory overload is because I think neurotypical people go from top to down or overall to specifics, and then neurodivergent people go from specifics to overall. And it seems like we're doing the same thing with language is
Mhm.
we kind of take it from a different perspective
Yeah.
than neurotypicals. Instead of going from one word to the other, we're taking a whole meaning, and then maybe your job is to chunk it up, obviously, and like you said, understand first of all what they're saying, and then modulate to them if they want to. But it's so interesting. It
Yeah.
requires, I think, someone to be passionate in order to be doing a good job of with all these kids. So I mean I'm really excited to see more of you everywhere, honestly.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Before we jump away, I wanted to say something. If this,
Yeah.
but let's come back to that in a sec. One thing that I was going to say, and I know that you said that it was like about 85% of autistic people are Gestalt learners. So this could just be the 15%, or this could be Gestalt learner. Okay, let me say the thing first. Something else that's pretty commonly talked about with like at least adult autistics and probably, children once they've like developed language and teens is that they tend to be very pedantic and very very like semantic because they want like accuracy. Like I've seen like that's something that I've seen like being talked about over and over again and how people get frustrated with like autistic people and thinking like, oh, they think that they're like better than what, like it comes off like it usually comes off not in a good way, but they're just trying to be very accurate.
Yeah.
So this is more of like a, I don't know what this means, but it could be like the 15% that are analytical, like language acquisition, that have like an analytical language acquisition style. It could be kids that have that taken in language the Gestalt way, but then maybe once they have that language could then be pedantic with it. I don't know, but it's just something that I thought of and I just thought would be like just an interesting thing to
What
bring
is
up and see
this?
if you guys have thoughts. Like,
It
what is
is
that?
so interesting. It's so
Yeah.
interesting. I did a collaboration video with I just call her my bestie, honestly, my bestie over
Yeah.
TikTok. She's at basically Linda Belcher on TikTok. Her
Yeah.
name is Erica. She
Oh
is
my
what
God.
do you guys
Literally.
do?
Hook us
Oh my
up.
God. Yes. We all like we were
Guys.
like talking with her. We were talking with her like over TikTok and like we almost did, and I reached out to her because I love her stuff. She has this thing about like being pedantic and like where like
Because she's a genius and she so eloquently expresses what she is thinking in her mind. And yes, we did a collaboration on this specifically because in the DSM-5, having pedantic language is one of the ways they diagnose
yeah,
autism.
oh that's true
It's a
too.
characteristic of
Yeah.
autism. So it's worth having that conversation of, oh, okay, but why? And there's not so much research on it. It's just this is all, from what I have seen and experiences and what I think is for autistic learners, GLP or not, there is this uh, pattern of communicating through memory. It's
Mhm.
so much easier for a memory to be processed, formulated, and expressed than something completely original, brand new, and truly like responding to maybe what's at hand or what's around them,
Like something
right?
that's like
So,
not in like the schema like that you already like something that yeah. Yeah.
yes, that already is, yeah, existing in the brain. That neural pathway is already set up. I know how to express it like this, and so it's quite literally easier to process something that they already feel is fitting, which by the way it is. People are so annoying to say that they think they're pretentious. It's not pretentious, it's
Yeah.
the right word. But I know
Exactly.
that
Oh, sorry.
exactly. Neurotypical people
Yeah.
try to make themselves they think about the social hierarchy so much. Oh, I don't want to seem too bougie. I don't want to seem not educated. I'm going to use this
Oh
word.
God.
And it happens pretty quickly. Whereas for autistic people, they're not thinking about the social hierarchy. They're thinking about what word is most fitting for the situation because I've used it before and I know it's most fitting for the situation. And the whole meaning of pedantic is it aligns with inauthentic, right? It's more inauthentic to try to cater to this fake social hierarchy. So yeah, that was just part of the video that I made with Erica was just
Yeah.
like,
No,
There's
please,
a
it
please.
lot
doesn't
of
make
stuff in the DSM that's like when you think about it from the perspective of the person, it's like, this
It's like, is this
doesn't make sense.
really
That sounds like bullshit.
well, also like a lot, especially
yeah.
like a lot of the names and stuff we talked about this before, but like, you know, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, that very much sounds like how someone would be like, I'm going to describe that person who's
Yeah,
annoying me in this
Yeah.
way. And
Yeah.
autism is like
exactly the
self-absorption.
same.
So it's just like, it's
Yeah.
like, but that's not, and
That's just what they see of us.
yeah. Really quick, going back to like the pedantic thing, I'm pretty sure this is what she said, but it was like, it comes from like pedagogy because like, or there's like a Greek word of like where like pedagogy comes from, like pedagogo, I think. And it's like it was called that because it was like the teachers who were slaves would teach like the children of like the rich people. And it was like this weird like imbalance where it was like they held all the knowledge, but they were slaves. So I think that like that's like the tie to like the inauthenticity. I'm pretty
Yes,
sure.
you're
I'm pretty
absolutely
sure.
right. Everything you said. Yes. And it's pedagogy.
Kim is like, yeah, oh yes. Okay.
No, I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Oh, it's
I
so
looked it
Yeah.
up.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask you, is it could be the reason why people with autism tend to pick up whatever accent they have on television, m-
easier or accents around them easier because they're more melodic?
Yes, that is very real for Gestalt language processors. I have a few Gestalt language processors on my caseload now. One of them only talks in a British accent because of Peppa Pig.
Oh,
And another one, she rarely uses English, she uses Portuguese. No one in her house speaks Portuguese. She just
Wow.
watches videos about Portuguese language, and it's so melodic and interesting, and I agree, I'm watching the videos with her, like, I get it. And so she prefers that language. Like, okay, well,
Whoa.
unfortunately, I don't speak Portuguese, so we're either gonna have to find you another therapist or we're
My
gonna have
son
to
has
try.
been watching Spanish videos and playing games in Spanish, and we have no idea why. He just likes how it sounds. Um,
wow.
and that's so interesting. And I'm also
Oof.
thinking about now my husband, who's also on the spectrum, and he can sing in foreign languages that he doesn't understand just because he understands the structure of the language and just like pronounces it, and he has no idea what he's saying, but that also sounds like this Gestalt
Ugh.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm so happy
I
Yeah,
to meet you,
so
Ryan.
I know.
oh,
My
I'm so
gosh.
happy to be here.
Hugs.
Yeah, do you have any success story or story that's really special to you?
Yes. So the one that just first came to mind is along with my learners being neurodivergent, autistic, a lot of them also have mental impairments. So there's
Mm.
one learner that I see who's in a group home and they're an adult and they never had a language system that they had access to and consistent with. And there was a lot of being stuck in mental loops because of dyspraxia, apraxia, and also that impairment. And so a lot of our therapy sessions were me just modeling language that went with what they were doing in their routines naturally. And then one day I was just like, forget it. We're just gonna play music and see which really sticks. And I played What a Wonderful World. And that song, I mean, they just looked at me, they smiled, they started jumping up and down. There was something about that song that just lit them up. And so I just started playing it over and over again and added it to the speech generating device. And, we're adding a bunch of songs now. And now I've been working with them for a little over a year. Now I come in, I say hello. I say, what should we play with? We go to the play folder and they're just telling me this song, then that song's over. I'm like, what's next? This song. And so it was just such a beautiful way to connect with someone who, in all honesty, not trying to make it sound like sensationalized, it's just this person never had access to a way to express what they wanted I mean, they're in their 30s, for 30 years. It's just, it makes me tear up every single time I work with them, honestly, because it's just the happiness that you see is awesome.
Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course.
I love that
I feel
music
like
can
that's
do
the biggest
that.
success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to move on to PDA and nervous system regulation or like
Oh,
PDA, I do feel is a really important topic just
Okay.
because in America, there's no formal diagnosis for it. It is in the UK. And a
huh.
lot of people who have pathological demand avoidance, they are given other diagnoses, oppositional defiance disorder,
mm,
and
Yep.
basically
Yeah.
just seen as the bad kids, the bad people, where really it is a nervous system disability and should really be seen as such. And a lot of people now are saying you don't have to be autistic to have this nervous system disability. It is seen more in neurodivergent populations, but I think a lot of people are walking around with a nervous system that has heightened neuroception, which is just our brain, our nervous system's ability to subconsciously scan for a threat and then go into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And so a lot of people are walking around with these nervous systems that are so easily ignited into a survival state from a perceived loss of autonomy. So
Mhm.
it doesn't even, it doesn't have to be apparent to everyone else around, but if they perceive that they are feeling a loss of their independence, it's sparked. So it could be anything. It could
Mm.
be saying, oh, that plan we're having later, we're actually going to bring Jill along. Survival state. It could be something as slightly as moving something that they had placed down. Oh, it makes more sense to put over here. Survival state.
Mhm.
And it's not always these fight responses. It could be frozen for days, weeks, months, um, until you are able to get in that nervous system and make it feel safe again, which is
Hmm.
why a lot of
Mhm.
people say put lower demands on those with pathological demand avoidance if they have the body keeps the score, right? If they have for years been in a state as in a survival state, the nervous system holds on to that and it keeps building and building and building until we get to a loss of accessibility to activities of daily life. So
Mm.
if you see someone in your life who is not able to access hygiene routines that they normally have been, or even wants to leave the house and do things that they normally enjoyed, that is a sign that you need to lower demands.
Yeah. I mean, I've even like I mean, I think that I have TMJ. It's like a jaw thing. And I think part of it's related to the fact that I'm like hypermobile, which is like comorbid with ADHD and autism, which we have a little series on if people are interested. But also it's another thing is that like I think that what's made it worse over time is that I definitely hold a lot of tension in my jaw. And I used to think too, like, oh, I don't think I have like PDA because I'm not like yelling and getting mad at people when they're telling me to do something. But yeah, like you're so right. Like it's like everyone, has a different stress response. And yeah, like I just think that
Some
yeah,
some PDA can be internalizers,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
it can come out that
masking
way.
starts young.
Mhm.
Masking starts really young, and people
That it
know. I
does.
mean, when you're in, when your nervous system is constantly in a state of I have to survive. It knows who it can be
Hmm.
authentic around and who it can't. So
Yeah.
obviously, primary caregivers get the brunt of whatever survival response they choose, but it's not that like they're not able to go out and about and be in school and whatever, but that whole time it's like holding your breath that whole
Hmm.
time until you
Yeah.
can let it out.
Or they might come home and be, like, ill, like, have, like, tummy aches and
Mm.
or headaches, and we might wanna take our kids to the eye doctor, be like, "Do they need glasses?" When really, they just need
Yeah.
less homework.
Um, Actually, when
Yeah.
after COVID, I was in charge of consultation liaison, and the most for child psychiatry, and the most common thing that I saw was abdominal pain that was unexplained that led to the child not being able to go to school. And then you realize that I mean, subconsciously, the kid is not aware, but it's because they've been away from school for so long. Getting back to school that year, it was around 2022, I think, led to all these children being hospitalized with unexplained abdominal pain. And then you realize it's all about school stress. But yeah, it's related a lot.
Yeah, PDA is really important. I'm so glad that it's being talked about outside of just autism because, yeah, once they started to look for it in ADHD people, they found it. Um, surprise.
I know
Um,
it sounds like in neurotypical people as well, which I did not know. So
yeah, and I
learn
love
something
how
new.
you frame it as a nervous system regulation thing because, yeah, we usually think about it as like an executive function thing, like or like a willfulness thing, like, oh, they just don't
Hmm.
want to. Um, But what we understand about executive functioning is that actually we really want to. We just can't access the skill, can't
Totally.
starting sounds
Yes.
like the problem. And so when we find ourselves in a state of being stuck or frozen or even fighting, what are some things that we can do to bring ourselves to a more regulated space? Um,
Absolutely. So lowering demands like we talked about,
yeah.
but then a lot of what I've been teaching since I've become independent with support the spectrum is nervous system regulation through sensory activation strategies. So talking to my clients about what sensations they enjoy. What do you like to smell? What do you like to feel? And explaining, vestibular stimulation and proprioceptive stimulation, so that they know there's a wide spectrum of what your body can sense. I have a a free Google Doc that people can access where I have a list of sensory items that also links to those sensory items to buy if you need them. And even just testing those things out with your learner, like, oh, do you like the smell? Do you like how that feels? Do you like pressure and weight? Um, is good. And the science behind that is that we have the core of our brains, the very, very core, the very middle is our emotional brains, holds most of our emotions and memories. And attached to that is the spinal cord and our brain stem. Our brain stem is our survival brain, all the natural responses like fight, flight, freeze, fawn. So, those two areas of the brain, when we are dysregulated, when we are in a survival state, they flood with most of the energy because back in caveman times, we needed all the energy to go there to survive. Now, when we're getting stressed by things like schedule changes and it's not the same as life or death, it feels that way though. What we want to do is try to pull some of that energy away by forcing those senses to turn on. And sometimes it does take multiple senses activated, takes hours even, but it's just so important to just, as much as you can,
Redirect
take yeah,
that
take power
energy like
away from
you
those
would
parts of your
with a
brain.
toddler.
It's
Yes,
amazing.
yeah, we're all really simple, honestly.
So
We
true.
really think about it.
We're simple but different, and our needs haven't been met, which then kind of culminates and like exponentially gets to like a place where it's like it seems like it's a lot like worse and more complicated, but really at the root, it's a simple difference. So
Yeah, that's a good point because a
yeah,
lot of my clients say, "That's not gonna work for me," and I think the same thing sometimes. I'm like, "My problems
Mhm.
are too big for
yeah,
my favorite
Yeah.
2016 song to fix," and the thing is, it's not. Not
yeah,
fix, but make me feel better.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think I'm
yeah.
gonna I highly recommend, and it's very generous of you to make it like free for everyone to check. I'm gonna check it out because I think I need to check the sensory stuff that I think it's really important because it's easy to say, I don't think this is gonna work, but we have to try it. And I've heard amazing stories, and I think definitely if anything, I should trust you to to use this to regulate my nervous system.
No, I appreciate it. It's in my link tree and all my social media. And I also, for younger learners, I would recommend my 3-part social emotional learning lesson plans that are available under the support materials tab on my website because it uses more visuals to explain these concepts in a way.
Right.
Again, we can keep it simple. It really is complicated if we wanted to use the true scientific terms, whatever. Basal ganglia, all that stuff. But we don't have to. We can just understand we go into this response because we were cave people. This is just who we
Yeah.
are. And we can help ourselves feel better.
I love this.
We're just cave people.
Yeah, and it really can be that simple. Like, you really can explain this to children, and so adults have no excuse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I love
I
that
don't
you do. It's so easy to hide behind fancy words and pretend that, "Oh, I know it all by that," but you don't do
if I
that. You take
confuse
it
people
to the
enough, they
simplest
won't know that
form.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's important because that just shows that you really
Oh,
understand the concept, actually. So
Yes.
thank you for doing
I
that.
think that's the main oh, you're welcome. Thank you for the compliment. I think that's the main goal of Support the Spectrum is like, I don't want you to feel confused. I want you to
Yeah.
use these things.
Mm.
So yeah.
What is your favorite type of content to record?
That's a good question.
Such a hard question.
It is because record is different than edit.
Yes.
So true.
Because I love recording the full skits, multiple scenes, so I can make as much sense as possible and give as much context. And then I gotta sit down and edit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Understood.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I just recently did some videos
Hilarious.
about sensory perception differences for people who have sensory processing
Ooh.
differences, and
Yeah.
Love
Wow.
um
that.
that was
Yes.
fun because,
Hot topic.
yes, they do see that bird from 2 miles away, and yes, they do hear everything in the foreground, and exemplifying that in videos, I watch it back and I'm like, "That's a good one."
Yes. I was gonna
Yes.
say that's such an important topic, and it's people talk about it, but it's good to see experts talking about it. I want that, and that's why I think people should check you out because you have free content, you have amazing information,
Quality
and you're
content.
helping
Yeah.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing,
A calming
and you're a
voice.
reliable
A
person for
calming
that. Yeah.
voice and presence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You ladies.
She's
Oh my
like,
god.
Yeah.
"Yes.
You're like
We're standing too hard."
Anything like, oh my god, I appreciate the compliments, but also I don't know how to react to these. So, ooh.
I know, I'm, like,
yeah, there is
sweating.
that. We always like when we compliment each other, we're also like, I have to because I love you, but I know that when
I
we
know it
receive
makes you
compliments, you're
uncomfortable.
like, I know, I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
die. So
Yeah.
You
nothing.
deserve
You
to
don't have to
know.
reply. It's totally fine
Yeah.
to leave.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, if people want to follow you, support your work, where can they find you?
I am at support_the_spectrum on all socials. And if you just do support-the-spectrum.com, you can find links to all of those things and can contact me if you need me. And
And
yeah,
we'll put links in the show notes so people can
Yeah.
also click directly. So we got you.
thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hold on. I have to pull out my fun questions.
Oh, our one last wrap up question.
Yeah, I have
So
to do a little shuffle. Shuffle. You want to
yeah,
introduce?
I will introduce. So Sarah got these cards from this company called We're Not Really Strangers, which I don't know if you've like seen them before, but like it's just a bunch of questions.
Icebreakers.
They sent you the cards, like this
Yeah.
special deck, like a confidence boost
Yeah.
edition. Like,
I don't know, just because I'm a part of their newsletter. Um,
wow, that's
yeah,
cool.
and so I like to ask people like random questions that they're a little raw sometimes. So let's just oh, this is going to be easy though, girl. Okay, describe a time when something unexpectedly worked out for you.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm just
I
going to
think
start there.
Okay.
easy in the sense of this is not an emotionally raw question, but not easy in the sense of memory recall time. So like, take your time.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no, but
that is true.
something dings immediately. Something dings immediately because it felt like this is not real. This is all a simulation.
Yeah.
So when I first started Support the Spectrum, I'm on my own, trying to fill my caseload, I'm making this content. I'm like, is this gonna work out? Should I even do this? This is scary. I get a message from Christine Romeo, who is Abby Romeo's mom, Abby being on
Mhm.
Love on the Spectrum. One of the most well-known, I would say, autistic women. Sure. I get a message from her and she wants to have a phone call. And I thought, this isn't real. This is somebody scamming me. I get on the phone. Even then, I'm still thinking, this is a scam. But then I really listen to her voice. And I'm like, that is Christine's voice.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I really want you to be Abby's therapist. And I say, uh-huh. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Oh
I think
God.
I can fit her. I
Okay.
think I can fit her in.
I'll
Like,
mull it over, I
totally.
guess. I
Like,
mean,
I can move some things
yeah.
around, like, trying to play cool, but in my
Oh
mind, I'm
my
like,
God. You're like, ah!
no way.
Yeah.
And so this isn't like we have a contract where Abby wants what she is experiencing in speech therapy services to be public knowledge so people
Right.
can
No, I
get the
assumed that
help that they need.
immediately.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so um yeah,
That's
I
amazing.
somehow am Abby Romeo's therapist, and that is that moment for me.
Oh gosh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 degrees of separation, everyone. We know
I
a TV
know.
star.
Right. No, I think
Yeah.
about that all the time. I think
That's
Rosie
crazy.
O'Donnell commented on one of Christine's videos where she was talking about me, and I fell to the floor.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Has
Obviously, she
anyone
doesn't
ever
know who I am.
has anyone ever seen the video of Elise Myers responding to Kevin Jonas?
No.
Oh.
Excuse me?
She
What?
was freaking out. It took her like a whole day.
I didn't know that this happened.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
they probably met in real life and everything already. Anyway, we
that's
need to stop this. I'm so sorry we rabbit holed, guys.
No, that's
no.
Fantastic.
amazing.
We plugged,
Yeah.
we did this. Oh, we did everything. We're done.
Yep, Ryan. Like if there's ever something that you want to like promote, I mean, I know you have your own YouTube channel, so I know you're good on that. But if you ever want, if there's a topic where you're like, you know what, I want to talk to the Neurodivergent Report girls about this, like, let us know.
Remind us always because we want to keep the connection. Like this
Yeah.
is
And
we
I,
didn't
and I want
forget.
to make
We're
and I
still
want to make
open.
it clear, like not only on the level of like we need to like network and connect with people because that's how we build our platform, but just because like we're meeting really cool people
No,
who
we
like we're having
actually
a good
really like
time with.
you.
Like
Yeah.
I'm just expressing that you're really cool. So
So I would
yeah,
love that. I really appreciate you saying that
yeah,
because that's
yeah,
always how I feel. I'm
yeah,
like, "Hey, we'd love to stay connected."
yeah, yeah,
And really build a
Perfect.
community in this neurodiversity support because,
yeah.
yeah.
Good.
I'm gonna stop. Thanks for being here. If you want to connect with the Neurodivergent Report, you can find us at ND Report Pod on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, Blue Sky, Substack, etc.
If you're looking to support the show, the best thing you can do is subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Please do that.
And hey, if you want to check out more about us, visit our website at ndreportpod.com. And you can also go there if you want to be a guest contributor on the show.
Until next time, be well, do good. Bye.